What's happening, good people? What's happening? We're back. We're back. I had some technical difficulties earlier, but we're back. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it, y'all. All right. All right. So this is where we left off yesterday. Chapter 4 is in the green. It may turn black today. We'll see. I tell you what. I told you guys I had some technical difficulties earlier, and I'm looking at myself on the screen, and we're still having technical difficulties, but I think I'm gonna just keep on trucking, y'all. Yeah, keep on trucking. Yeah, seems like it's working now. Somebody praying. Somebody just prayed. Somebody said, Lord Jesus, let that boy have no technical difficulties on this morning. Thank you, whoever you were. All right, so I'm in my, as y'all can see, I got the American flag on again. This is not for Trump. This is not for America. This is the shirt I slept in again last night. I'm not nasty. So y'all seen this shirt 2 days in a row. I'm not nasty. But here we go. Back at home, Mrs. Wallace, Sonia, and Lily were all in the garage getting things prepared for Suge's big night. So far, 5 people had shown up. People from the neighborhood who'd heard about the get-together and decided that free food was a lot better than having to cook for themselves. Lively balloons animated by an oscillating fan and ribbons were strung up in various locations of the garage as well as the front of the home. Staked in the front yard were the words, "Happy 80th birthday, Suge," in bold letters. At a modest volume, old-school R&B was heard playing from colorful, flashing Bluetooth speakers. Ooh, I'm sorry, excuse me. I just drank 2 cups of coffee, and now I'm on a cup of water. At a modest volume, old school R&B was heard playing from colorful, flashing Bluetooth speakers. Though the speakers were capable of blaring bass throughout the neighborhood, Edna decided not to blast them out of worry that some of the neighbors would complain. Despite the fact, tunes like "This Is How We Do It" by Montel Jordan and "It Takes Two" by Raw Bass and DJ Easy Rock were priming the scene for good vibes to come. The aroma of the food, on the other hand, was permeating a mile away. There was no way. All right. So every time I read this part, I don't like, for some reason, I get snagged on away and way. So in other words, the aroma of the food, on the other hand, was permeating a mile away. Let's just say was permeating for miles. For miles? For miles? Was permeating throughout the neighborhood. The aroma of the food, on the other hand, was permeating throughout the neighborhood. There was no way to turn down the smell, but if there were, Edna would have eagerly turned up the volume and perhaps used an industrial-sized fan to blow the smell in the directions of all of those who thought they were too good to be a part of the afternoon festivities. The afternoon festivities were too good to be a part of the celebration. The celebration. Afternoon festivities sounds more like a county fair, you know what I mean? Or, some celebration. That's what we're gonna go with. We're too good to be a part of the celebration. It was Suge's birthday, and for those who knew the man and had any good sense, knew that being there that night would have been the perfect way to pay homage to the gardening legend. Now, I wrote a note here yesterday. Maybe Suge says, "Let food be thy medicine," a quote by Hippocrates. We'll see about that. The party had been the Wallaces' way of paying tribute. It was the least they could do. The party had been the Wallaces' way of paying tribute. See, I say pay homage right here, and then I say pay tribute. Alrighty. It was Suge's birthday, and for those who knew the man and had any good sense, knew that being there that night would have been the perfect way to pay homage to the guardian legend. The party was the Wallaces. The party itself, the party itself was the Wallaces' way of paying tribute. It was the least they could do. We'll go with that. There were so many people who knew the hero behind the humble face, the beekeeper, the gardener, the soil scientist, the amateur soil scientist, the amateur soil scientist, the healer, and the actual war hero. Turning 80 years old was a very important milestone for Mr. John White, aka Suge, and the people of Green Pond. On fold-out tables that stood against the garage wall were silver chafers with burners underneath, allowing steam to keep everything warm. This display of food looked... Alright, it's kind of loud, isn't it? That's good. The fold-out tables that stood against the garage wall were... Let me see. The fold-out tables that stood against the garage wall... Oh, I keep saying the fold-out table. Uh-oh. I keep saying the. What do you mean the? You pronounce O-N the now? That's how you pronounce O-N? Y'all, those of you who have been here from the beginning, y'all know what's going on. I don't have to tell you. I'm trying to do 10 things at one time. I'm editing, I'm reading, I'm writing, I'm there. I can smell the food, I can hear the music, I see the balloons, I see the flashing Bluetooth speakers. You know, I'm seeing people walk around mingling. All of this is going on at one time, so y'all bear with me. On fold-out tables that stood against the garage wall were silver chafers with burners underneath, allowing steam to keep everything warm. The display of food looked nothing less than a feast fit for a king. There were dishes of all sorts neatly placed in platters. Next to the garage door, on a separate fold-out table, was a bowl of Edna's lemonade. Early in the day, and somehow, while preparing the lovely spread, Edna and Sonia had done an immaculate cleaning. Alright, so that's... was a bowl of Edna's famous lemonade. Was a bowl of... Early in the day, and somehow, while preparing the lovely spread, earlier in the day, and somehow, and while preparing the lovely spread, Edna and Sonia had done an immaculate cleaning on the area. There wasn't a speck of dust or a cobweb anywhere to be found. On the hot table, hidden underneath the covers of the silver chafers, out of sight, certainly not for early consumption, according to Edna, were dishes of creamy macaroni casserole barbecue ribs, fried chicken, collard greens, oxtail. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta add one. Shout out to my guy, Lizard here in Ridgeville, Mr. Sean. Man, I forget his last name. I just saw one of his videos and I gotta say something. Fried ribs, fried baby back ribs. Yeah, those ribs are good, man. If you were dishes of creamy macaroni casserole, barbecue. Oh, wait a minute. I already. Okay, so wait a minute. It's a feast, y'all. It's a feast. It's a feast. Okay, that's a good segue too. And I say that because barbecue ribs, fried baby back ribs, fried chicken. Okay. I think I'm. Wait a minute. I want to. Right now, I'm reading. I'm. This is soul food. This is what we call soul food in the South. But Suge is a soil scientist, a gardener, and I gotta say master gardener too. Yeah, I gotta say, what did I say? The beekeeper, the master gardener. The master gardener, the amateur soil scientist, the healer, and the actual war hero. So right here, I'm kind of saying that he's someone. Would he be eating the food that I'm talking about right now? Maybe I need to mention that, because not everybody's gonna be on the same sheet of music, y'all. Y'all know how we are in the black community. You know how hard it is. We got people, and this is not just the black community. This is America in general. We got people, I'm included now, who know certain things are not good. You know how many times I pass a McDonald's and I see that quarter pounder on that billboard, that giant billboard, the quarter pounder with the fries. I pass that, I'm like, man, I gotta get me a quarter pounder today, man, or a Big Mac. I gotta get this Big Mac. Here lately, I've been sneaking out late, going to we got an ice cream franchise in South Carolina called, in this part of South Carolina, called Ye Old Fashioned. And my wife and kids have been telling me about Ye Old Fashioned for years. I had never gone, never. It just so happened, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I just said, let me go and get me a Ye Old. Let me go get a sundae. Let me get a sundae, chocolate fudge sundae. I went and got and the guy gave me the wrong thing. He gave me something called black and white, and it was the vanilla ice cream on the top, but then the chocolate ice cream was on the bottom. I didn't know, and then it was just smothered in hot fudge with nuts on top, a cherry, and a whipped cream. So I drive. It's right here in Somerville. I drive down across the street to the parking lot, and I took the first bite, and I was like, oh God, Lord. I said, Jesus, what is this? Because it's real ice cream. It's not the ice cream you get out of the store. It's real ice cream. And it had been so long, it had probably been, I remember maybe the only other time in my life I ever had like actual ice cream, like made fresh, that I can remember, that really stood out, was when my great grandfather made it when we were kids. Not even kids. I was a baby. I was like 3 or 4 years old. And I remember Papa, he had an ice cream maker, and he made the ice cream, and oh man. So I say all that to say, this is reality. Suge may be on he may grow his own food, but he may eat ribs too. he may be a master gardener and love some oxtail. You see what I'm saying? Is it a grass fed cow beef? Maybe the oxtail's grass fed. That's better, right? Maybe the ribs, the pig, maybe all the food that she's cooking comes from Suge. It's a possibility. So leave that open. Note to self. Okay, let's get back down here to this food, because I know people are like, wait a minute, come on now, let's get back to the food now. This food here you talk about all this food here. All right. With as many as 50 people expected to show, some bringing more food, there would be several plates. I just skipped over a whole doggone thing. Okay. On the hot table, hidden underneath the covers of the silver chafers, out of sight, certainly not for early consumption according to Edna, were dishes of creamy macaroni casserole, barbecue ribs, fried baby back ribs, fried chicken, collard greens, oxtail, dirty rice, yellow rice, corn on the cob, smothered turkey wings, and cornbread. With as many as 50 people expected to show, some bringing more food, there would be several plates to take back home after the festivities. Okay, I'm glad I changed that earlier, because I had festivities earlier, so now I can say festivities now. Or after, I just said party. How about that? After, let's just say party. Festivities is kind of, plates to take back home after the party. In platters that didn't require heat. And on a separate table was potato salad, deviled eggs, apple pie, lemon meringue pie, crab salad, Caesar salad, and Suge's birthday cake. Red velvet. Red velvet. That's my favorite birthday cake, if y'all didn't know. That's my favorite cake, red velvet. Kind of fell in love with red velvet when I was a kid. We had a lady in the neighborhood who could absolutely bake. Oh my God. Miss Barbara. Rest in peace, Barbara. Miss Barbara Johnson. Rest in peace. And she would make red velvet cake from scratch. I'm talking about everything was from scratch. Everything. Eggs off the yard, chickens. I think her mother, Miss Elizabeth, rest in peace, she had chickens. And she made the icing from scratch, everything. And then, like the first time, that's another one of those memories that, the first time I had that cake, I was like, okay, this is different. This is very different. This doesn't taste like cake from the store. This tastes different. So, yeah. Salute. Lord have mercy, salute. All right, so Caesar salad and Suge's birthday cake, red velvet covered. That does it. In platters that didn't require heat, and on a separate table was potato salad, deviled eggs, apple pie, lemon meringue pie, crab salad, Caesar salad, and Suge's birthday cake, red velvet. I don't have to put cover. All right. in covered platters. Covered. How do you spell covered? Did I spell? It says cover. Let's put covered. Alright, so that was a glitch. In covered platters that didn't require heat, and on a separate table was potato salad, deviled eggs, apple pie, lemon meringue pie, crab salad, Caesar salad, and Suge's birthday cake, red velvet. Though the sun was now setting on the horizon outside the garage, away from the music, the sound of ruffling oak leaves could be heard. Leaves could be heard as a cool October breeze was coming in. Sonia, bring back some cornmeal. I believe I see your brother and daddy walking up with the fish. Some ways down the freshly scraped dirt road, a road that appeared darker in its red hue now that it had been turned. Some ways down the freshly scraped dirt road. Some ways down the freshly scraped dirt road, a road that appeared darker in its hue. Now that it had been turned, Edna made out materializing images of her husband and son carrying fishing rods and buckets. Watching her boy struggle with the heavy bucket, she shook her head with concern. You want to rest now? You want to rest again? Asked Henry, knowing good and well the boy wouldn't dare stop to take a breath this close to home. Go ahead, stop, a voice. Go ahead, stop, a voice came from within. Nobody's looking, just put it down for a few seconds and stop. Soon, son, did you hear me? Yeah, all right, y'all. Got a lot of stuff going on right now. Let me see. It's been 22 minutes. Son, did you hear me? You can stop whenever you feel like it. At those words, his right arm began feeling like it was being pulled from its socket. The boy started questioning his own strength. Surely he could do this. They stopped 3 times already. The time to rest was then, not now. He heard his father, but feared opening his mouth to lie. Truth be told, he was in pain, extreme pain, but the wrong words could stop him in his tracks. As he continued on, ignoring the pain, the way an injured athlete would when the championship game was on the line, it seemed the closer they got, the heavier the bucket grew. Finally, he managed to swing the container in front of him to his left hand, but not without splashing pond water all over his shoes. Just put it down, man. You don't have nothing to prove. Besides, nobody's looking, said the voice. Jake, his father called. Huh? The boy answered. Did you hear a word I said? Oh, I'm fine. I can make it, Jake replied. You sure? Asked his father. Yeah, I'm stronger than you think, he said as the burn in his right arm traveled up to his shoulder across his chest to his left. I see we have a crowd already, said Henry as they approached the glowing garage. His eyes were fixated on a man he hadn't seen in over 2 years. Yeah, said Jacob, he too glaring at the familiar face, relieved that he would soon be putting down the heavy bucket. Hey, is that? Looks like it is, said Henry. Father and son were surprised to see seated on the wooden picnic table that had been placed in the middle of the garage Lily and her father, Frederick Sr. At the last second, Henry decided to take a hard left. Now, why is he taking a hard left? Why? Man, I'm glad you guys are here to witness this, because I just discovered something. I was like, is there some kind of issue between it? Is there an issue between Henry and Frederick? If so, what is it? We'll see. I don't know if it is or not. At the last second, Henry decided to take a hard left. Maybe let's go back and let's do some editing here. Let's do some editing. Okay, yeah. Maybe there's maybe Frederick is jealous of Henry and Suge's relationship. Y'all don't laugh at me. I taught myself how to type. I'm getting there. Maybe Frederick is jealous of Henry and Suge's relationship. Maybe. Are you still good, son? Huh? Yeah, but where are we going? Asked Jacob. Well, Miss Louise can't make it tonight. Well, what's going on my phone? Well, I think her name is going to be Martha Louise. I was thinking Miss Martha Louise. Let's see what that looked like. Miss Martha Louise, yeah. Yes. Yes, that's beautiful. Miss Martha Louise can't make it tonight. You know how much she loves Redbreast, said Henry. Huh? Jacob said a second time. Okay, so this is where okay. The story is starting to this is you guys, I started the story in 1999. I started this story in 1999, y'all. You know how long these characters have been in my head? I tell people, and I don't necessarily think they believe me, but I'm always writing. This story is 26 years old. It'll be 26 years old. It's 25, it'll be 26 years old. These characters have been in my head for 26 years, almost 26 years. And there's so many different ways I've tried to, this character's doing this, this character's doing that. And then it comes back and I gotta edit, I gotta delete, I gotta change some things, all in my head. And right now I got this story still going. I got two other stories going, like really going. One is about dogs. It's gonna be a story about dogs. I'm gonna make dogs characters. I got more than two. What I'm saying, I got like 4 or 5 stories going in my head at the same time, and at the same time, gotta hold down a job. I gotta be here for my family. You know what I mean? And I'm almost, I'm starting to realize that I realize this, but I really don't like. In my mind, when I was a little kid, I thought everybody thought like this. I thought this is normal. Come to find out, it's not normal. Now, you can say that my books, my published books that I have out, the 4 published. I said 3 in another video. I'm sorry. I got 4 published novels and 1 poetry book. You can say that they're garbage. You can say that they're trash. But you can't say that they're not done. You can't say that they're in print. You cannot say this, I don't even know, 7-8 pounds worth of books right here. Over 1 million words, I think. You can't say that. You can't say that they're not in the physical form. They're here. I mean, that's a good bit. There's 4 novels and 1 poetry book right here. All right here. All published, all written. Finally got out my head. It finally got out my head. So I'm going to continue to get these out of my head because this is my therapy. This is my therapy. I'll put those back later. And I decided to go this route. Record it. Read it out loud. And it's helping. It's helping. It's doing more than helping. It's making me, I'm gaining another trade. Y'all don't hear me. Well, Miss Martha Louise can't make it tonight. You know how much she loves red breast, said Henry. Huh? Jacob said a second time. All right, we're gonna stop it right there, y'all. We're gonna pick it back up. Now tomorrow, that's gonna be this set. Tomorrow I'm gonna start on. I'm gonna make this green, hopefully, and then it's gonna be another section. Them going to visit Miss Martha Louise, and I'm glad I changed her name. As a matter of fact, I gotta do this real quick, y'all. I gotta do this. I got to replace Louise, and those that know me know why I'm changing it. All right, before I do that, if I change it now, it's gonna make this. It's gonna be. Anyways, y'all, I gotta change that back to Louise, okay? Because it's gonna be double. It may be double, I don't know for sure, but anyways, replace Louise. I can't even spell my own mom name with Martha. Martha is my great grandmother, y'all. All right, and let's make all whole words. Find all words. Match case. Let's see what happened. All right, replace all 23 times. Okay. So you see how I just changed that? Well, Miss Martha Louise can't make it tonight. You know how much she loves red breast, said Henry. Huh? Jacob said a second time. All right, we're gonna leave it right there, y'all. We're gonna leave it right there. This is where we're gonna pick back up. Now I know I may have that little bit of writing I just did may have some mistakes in it. I don't care right now at this point. It's been 37 minutes. We're gonna go back up here because it needs this first section needs a little bit more massaging. So I'll have to go through and do that tomorrow. All right, y'all be blessed, man. Listen, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, or maybe I should, but I'm a high school dropout, y'all. I'm a high school dropout, and I didn't drop out because I had to get a second job to support my family. I dropped out because I couldn't hack high school. Just couldn't hack it. High school was that was painful. High school was painful, man. So just keep that in mind, man. This is not my last book. This is my last book published, Illmatic, and it's about mental illness. And this is not a fix to mental illness. This is just a story about a lady who had mental illness and other people with mental illness. I can tell you firsthand, I'm a problem. If it came down to, if you had to interview a war hero or a war vet who actually went to war in Vietnam, I'm that guy when it comes to mental illness. Myself and my brothers, my sister, we all have dealt with the most when it comes to mental illness. Still dealing with it. So I would encourage you, this is my last book. It came out 2023, Illmatic. I would encourage you to pick this up. This is a powerful book. This book took me to a place within myself, like on the very outer skirts, on the edges of sanity, meaning it scared me. And if you're not very strong in your mental what's the word I'm looking for? If you're not sure you are able to take a book that actually takes you into a place where it could challenge your sanity, I wouldn't encourage you. I would encourage you to read this when you are at a better state in your life. But if you're comfortable in your mental sanity, this is a great read. A great read. A look into mental illness. Mental illness. Powerful book. This is Mech. This is the book that came out before that, and this is a book about 5 black superheroes that go back in time. And for all those who've read this book, every last person, I mean, they're like, they're like, you took me back. I was in an actual spaceship. I went back to slavery. I fought aliens, that type of stuff. That's how I read. It's going to be fiction, but it's going to be the type of fiction. I had a lady tell me before, I wrote a short story and I put it online. This is like 15 years ago. And I had a lady email me back. She was like, I feel so bad for you. I didn't know all these things. And it was a fictional story. It was a fictional story about a war veteran, a Marine living in New York City, in Harlem. And he had a dog and all these things. But it was written in a way that it wasn't anything fiction about it. You know what I mean? I went into small details. And this lady, she thought I had to write the lady back and let her know, now this wasn't a real story, ma'am. This is based on people I know and things, certain events, places I've been, but this is not, that type of stuff. That's how I write. That's my writing style. Even if it's fiction, even if it's this is far-fetched fiction right here. Mech, Jaja. Also very far fetched fiction, dealing with like fighting a demon in this book, what's another one? And the first book I ever published is Save Miss Caroline, and that's also fiction. You know, all of them are fiction. Anyways, I just ran out of time. This is also a great book. Y'all be blessed. This is Anthony L. Kelly. Hit that like, leave a comment. Till next time, I'm out.